Hey, this is Jason, KO4DDG. Today we're going to talk about a special kind of antenna, a fan dipole. You know, that is pretty special, and I'm going to show you how to make your own. So let's jump right into it here. All right, first things first. You probably heard of a dipole antenna. It's one of the simplest and most popular antenna designs out there. It's a standard dipole is basically two wires, each a quarter wavelength long, fed in the center by a transmission line, or you call it an off-center fed dipole, right? Right. Anyway, fan dipole is basically an upgrade to that, or a variation of the classic dipole. Instead of just one pair of wires, it uses multiple pairs of wires, all connected at the same central feed point and spread out like a fan, hence the word fan dipole. Each pair of wires is cut to resonate on a specific band or frequency. Think of it like having several antennas in one, all sharing the same feed line. When you transmit or receive, only the wires that are the correct length for that frequency will do most of the work, while the others act kind of like they're not even there. So why build a fan dipole instead of switching antennas or using an antenna tuner? Well, you get multiple band capabilities, no need to switch antennas. You get efficient operations, you're resonant on multiple bands, so there's no time delay on switching bands. It's bam, bam, bam. So you can do whisper mode on that easily. It's simple and relatively cheap to build. You want to operate on 40, 20, and 10? Just cut wire pairs for each of those bands, connect them to the same center insulator, and spread them apart at the right angle to minimize interference. When installing a fan dipole, try to keep the wires spread out, like the ribs of a fan, to reduce coupling and interaction between them. Height and orientation matter too. The higher, the more open the space, the better your performance. Alright, let me show you what you need to buy for this project. Alright, you need wire. Important thing. DS Commander has wire for 60 pounds, so you probably bought $100 out the door with shipping. Their wire uses 24 gauge. Okay? You go to Amazon. You got BN Tech Go, Chinese brand, but 24 gauge, 250 feet, black flexible wire. This is good wire. I got it before. It's kind of similar to DX Commanders, but it's just whatever wire you can find. This is $20 for 250 feet. Can't go wrong. You're going to need this. You're just going to need that. Okay? That goes into the plate for the radials. Your feedline connects to that. There's a jumper cable that goes to the top plate for the elements. You'll see that later on. You're going to need bungee cord to keep everything taut on your pole. Okay? You're going to need bolts with a toggle on the ends. And back to wire. You're also going to need something very special. You're going to need a pole. You can buy just the pole, and the price keeps going up, for $120, just the pole. 29.53 foot mast. Okay, you're going to need that. This, you need to follow the guide for DS Commander. This is kind of a rip-off of the DS Commander. I bought a DX Commander Signature 9, and the thing of it was, I seen how simple it was. It's like, well, I could probably make my own. So what I did is got on my 3D printer and I designed the spreader plates for it, which I'll link prior to Printables for those, and just started building my own, and it works. And when I bought the Signature 9 from DX Commander, they sent me 2 spools of that wire, and I had a whole spool left after I got done with mine. So, anyway, I don't want to get sued by them or anything. It's not I'm not selling it. I'm just showing you how to make your own. Okay? So let's jump right into it and start building it. I'll see you out in the shop. Okay, so this was the original one I did for the mast. I wasn't thinking. Easily tuned will be laying on the ground and the mast goes on top. I was thinking it would slide on a mast. That clearly did not work for my principle. So I have to make another one of these, even though it's pretty. But anyway, this is what I printed. It's wide enough for the mast will go right in that hole from the bottom. So you can slip the mast off easily and tune them. So let's go ahead and make this. Let's first start drilling these holes. It's going to take a 13/64. That's so those screws will easily thread into that without it moving too much. So let's go ahead and drill those out. Okay, those are drilled out. This is what the radials are going to screw into. This is what your feedline is going to screw into, and that will go up to the top plate and screw into the element plate. Okay. So to make this possible, we have to wrap aluminum or metal. I'm using aluminum flashing for roofs. It's easiest to work with. Now the idea is to do it like this and have it like that and fasten it. So start slow, don't cut yourself. We're going to work on this, cutting this part first. So I have scissors for flashing or for aluminum. Just fill with your finger. Just make your cuts. Now it might be worth it to make it look pretty. You know, other people are going to see it. All right, we got this far, so now you need to go back and drill those holes out. Do this side, then flip it around, do the other side. And the screws are what's going to be holding it together.
So carefully position your fingers so you're still holding it. And make your hoe. Get your wife out here to supervise you if you want. Make sure your holes are still aligned when you're drilling your holes. Alright, those are all done. And we need to drill the hole out for the feedline. These bolts are 1/4. That's what the box says. Go ahead and start the hole against two of them. Keep everything still. Still need to drill out the center hole, I realize. But that's okay. Yeah, I wonder if I can just attach that to that. That might work. Let's shorten this up and see if that'll work. That's why I like messing with flashing, because it's easy to work with. Try doing this with sheet metal. So tuck it, screw it, drill it. It's going to be conductive on the backside anyway. This is just ground. Ground's attaching. Try to make it safe so you don't cut yourself every time you mess with it. Now we gotta get the center. Center of this and center of the middle. So start here. now we're going to use these. You all know what those are. Stepper bits. See how that eats the aluminum? Once you get to a certain point, you might have to cut some of this off. Go ahead and grab our mast and see if it fits in the hole or not. Yeah, it fits in the hole. Might need to trim it up a little bit more. Just take it for another pass here around. There we go. Good fit, good fit. And now we have to make a new one of these, just to be on the safe side. So we take our cord, we need to cut off some. Just be generous. We're going to put this on one of these. Try that again. Alright, so now we got to put the cokes on one of these. So we already measured it. We already cut the tip. Now we're filling with solder there. Now this does not need a ground, okay? It does not need a ground. It just needs the feed. By just smushing it in there, right? Actually goes like that. So when our main feed line from the house comes on here, it will touch this, and this will be grounded. So we can go ahead and just cut back the shield here. We're not going to be using it. Okay, now that's soldered on there. I'm gonna mount it, so we'll go ahead. Go ahead and go to the other end. We need to put a fork connector on that. Every time I use my automatic strippers, it pulls the wire, so you need to watch that. All right, after this dries, put electrical tape, put the heat shrink around it, put it in there, screw it in, and you have what you need to do. All right, it's another day, another project. This time we're going to build the DS Commander knockoff to tune it. So let's get started. When deploying the DS Commander 2.0, we were saying, when you extend it, you want to pull and twist. That will stop it from collapsing on itself. These are your spreader plates, and we're going to put them on there now. Each of these have been measured to stop at each junction. We're going to start with the biggest one, which is 40. And all the other ones will go on similar. They're all mounted and spaced. All the bungees are attached. Just give it just enough tension. This is the 40, so it acts a little weird. They suggest you make a tension loop around the second spacer here to get some of the slack. You can do that if you want. It's attached with the bungee cord. And there's the whip for 15 meters. You got to play with that whip for the angle. Let's get this outside on the grass now. If you take a permanent marker or something else and you mark on the driven plate, you can easily put your elements back where they belong in the field. Isn't that cool? All right, first we need to find a place to install it. You need about 9 feet diameter circle. That's how long the radials are. This we're using is a CPVC pipe, 1 inch. It's about 4 feet tall. I marked it how far I have to drive it in the ground. Put duct tape up here to secure the diameter of the PVC so the mast won't move around, stay straight. When you drive this in, it's important to try to get it to stay straight. Good luck. Now that it's in the ground, we're ready to put the radial plate on and the radials. So let's get started. Here's a tip for you when you do your radials and you separate them. Split them into twos. Take two in one hand, two in the other, and just walk back. And they will separate. It'd be a little easier to spread all these radials. Yeah, let's put the mast on top. Need to come up with a sturdier pole to stick in the ground. DX Commander, they use a fiberglass pole. So this has to be guide at the moment. It's kind of windy. Now we have it all set up with the guys. Don't forget your clamp for the bottom plate. Without that clamp, everything goes up in the air, literally. They're all pretty taut. So that would be the end of this one. Now I just need to look at the meter, see if I need to shorten any or add to any. And that's all done by folding over the wires. So I think it's just quite successful. We'll see you in the studio. Alright, welcome back to the studio. I realized that video was probably extremely long from my usual. But, you know, had to cover how to make those things. One of a kind, as you would say. Anyway, some things I didn't touch on because of the iffy nature of this video, being this is actually a product that he sells. So, everything to build this antenna can be found on his website, on this PDF right here, including all the cut lengths for the Signature 9 elements, to make the elements. Okay, the element plate is made with one of the 3D printed ones with the flashing on either side. I glued mine, then drilled the holes. Alrighty, so that's about it without being crucified here. I wish you all the best. If you have any questions, Jason at ko4ddg.com, and I'll try my best to help you. And I'll link the Printables site if you wish to print these. I don't have the capabilities to print them and mail them to you, so you're going to have to find a friend. Anyway, 7-3, this is Jason, KO4DDG, signing off.